What's going on, guys? Welcome to another late night live stream. And holy fucking shit, we have an insane pre stream legend just in time for me figuring out how to do these clips. Because, like I said, I'm trying to learn one thing every night on what I'm doing here. And there's so much to learn and so much to do. So let's start off with just acknowledging some dumb guy with the insane $100 Red Boy Mega Banger. I got something for you. Ready? Look at me. I'm so proud of myself. Some dumb guy with the 20 on top of the $100 Mega Banger. The 20 Smash JT memberships. Holy fucking shit, dude. One more. What we gotta, this is crazy.
Holy fucking shit. Unbelievable.
Holy crap. Look at that. Look at Hypno crying already. Crying. The grifter is crying. Say, what about me? Wait, hold on. I was in your chat. I saw him donate to you tonight. Come on. I saw that. But wow. What kind of fucking intro was that? Okay, so Hypno, you got to remember, my guy, we're not all pro streamers on the level that you're at. Okay, we don't just roll out of bed, wake up one day, and just are Hypno. Okay, you have to work each day to slowly get to it, and eventually, we will all someday hold a candle to you, maybe if we're lucky enough. Yeah, I got that just for you, some dumb guy. I genuinely appreciate you, man. That was so kind of you. Genuinely. Um, it was in reference to him being late, my guy. Oh, misread. Look at me. I already tripped right off the start. Sorry about that. Hypno, coping and seething. I gotta get that one downloaded too. But man, this is like very exciting now that I understand the video clips. Watch out, Hypno. Watch out. I also know how to do this. Ready? I'm gonna up. Oh, he's gone now. He's gone. But he's there. He's waiting. No, I'm just kidding. Master of the TDS, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream, and thank you so much for joining tonight.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
I know you just came off of like a 3-hour stream yourself.
2 hour. I think
2 hours.
We usually go for an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's our max.
Okay. Yeah, I try to go about that too, but sometimes, topics keep me going. So it depends. But I know your voice has a lot of talking. Live streams aren't easy. And I genuinely thank you for joining me tonight, because a lot of people that are here in the stream right now may not have been on your stream. And what you unveiled on your stream was groundbreaking. It was like insane. And I didn't even know. Like you're always good for the I got one more thing. You're like the Steve Jobs of Apple. I got something to talk about tonight. It is a never miss. Like you mega like hit after hit with the work you put into it. And what you're going to show people tonight, I hope, if you don't mind showing it off here too, or at least a little bit of it, just to give the people a taste. Master of the TDS put together a flowchart akin to Madame Savvy, for those that have seen her flowchart. But it's a little bit different, where Madame Savvy's was, I think, strictly focused on the people. Master of the TDS focuses on the people and the companies. Would that be accurate to say?
Yes.
And it is not all encompassing, but it's pretty damn close. Like it's all encompassing for what we know about, I guess, to this point. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it sheds some light on a lot of the people involved in potentially creating the connections that Sweet Baby Inc. had and kind of going from there, like it goes further. So it it's very significant.
It is. It's crazy. But before we even get into that, I think it might be make more sense to start with what Savvy said on Twitter, which is honestly, I just kind of wanted you here tonight to talk about this. And then I saw your stream and I was like, oh my God, that's actually going to take center stage of what I planned. Because it's like,
Sorry.
no, don't be sorry. That was intense, dude. That was like epic. It was epic. So let me just, before I jump into it, let me at least acknowledge the chat a little bit here, because all I did was talk to Hypno and I feel bad. Everyone else in here saying hello. Obviously we talked about Some Dumb Goy with the huge pre-stream legend donations. I see Cesard in here. What's up, Cesard? Someone I definitely wanted to acknowledge. I saw she was in here right at the beginning. Sonia, great to see you, Sonia. Thank you so much for always being there. Appreciate you. Mechanic, Jibo 87, the JCX show, the Popo. I saw the Popo in your stream. He was in there.
Yep.
Chatting away. I was like, oh, I hope he can make it to mine too, and he did. So cool. Yeah, Gregor Smith, Netflix Foreign. People still file in right now. Hypnotic and Rapture, what's going on? Glad you could make it. And yeah, Cesar, you're interviewing the death blow dealer. I don't know if Kim Belair knows what she signed up for. I don't think she was familiar with you, Master of TDS.
Probably not. I can say that I do know that some people involved with Sleep Baby Inc. were somewhat aware of me because I do have some connections. But clearly they're watching now, because I don't know if you saw what I mentioned
well,
at
actually,
the beginning of the stream.
I wanted you to revisit that, because I heard the end of that where you're like, oh, they did this, and that's how I know they're watching. So what was it exactly that made you know?
So you know how the Powell Group hid all their stuff. They didn't hide one thing. On their services page, it's still listed Sweet Baby Inc. So someone alerted me to it. So I made a post about it. Within 20 minutes, it was removed.
Wow.
So you may have wanted to wait a little bit before doing that, because in 20 minutes, I find it very, very unlikely that you decide, whoops, we forgot that, and went and did it like coincidentally. So clearly you were watching.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, because I saw someone tag me on that, I think after they tagged you on it. So yeah, I think you were the first one that said anything about it. So yeah, they're definitely watching you specifically. So
I wouldn't blame them. I think Kim Belair is probably going to come back online at some point and be like, what is with all the Bowser tags from this guy?
Oh no, she is. I guarantee you, she is in the chat tonight. Like, it is no doubt in my mind. She
hasn't blocked me yet. I've been trying to get her to block me.
Oh well, now she's definitely not going to block you, because then it's obvious she's in here listening. So
I know she won't. But
everyone say hi to Alyssa, and also say hi to Kim, because they're both definitely here.
And I also want to mention one thing that I find interesting is that the story about Chris Kindred kind of came and went. But I think what was really interesting was that usually when we put out a big story or something like that, we usually get pushback, right? We usually get some pushback, and there was none.
It's curious.
It just was really weird, because when I put out this stuff about the Powell Group, I've already got some people in my comments being like, like they always do. And for the Chris one, nothing. Crickets.
I almost wonder if people are starting to be like, mind changed and shifted, like where they used to be like on the fence, like, oh, you guys are just clickbaiting, trying to get attention off this, like it's not really as bad as you're making it sound. And as time has gone on, people have realized, oh no, it might be worse than what they were saying. So they're getting less pushback as time goes on, potentially.
Yeah, I agree. And all they need to do, look, I said it on the stream, and I'll say this again. They keep crying, we're victims, and then hiding everything and whatever. I'm sorry, but victims don't run around and hide things and scream we're victims. Victims usually are victims. Now, the thing that I find interesting is I don't know if you know, some people saw my video on the Powell Group. That's how people knew about it. In that video, I mentioned something really interesting, right? That people didn't really pick up on because of the Powell Group stuff. And then it was proven the next day, which I found very interesting. I mentioned in that video I mentioned that I was confirmed that Sweet Baby Inc. was business as usual, that they hadn't stopped, that they've been just keeping working and continuing whatever. The next day, we get that former Sweet Baby Inc. person coming out with an article that says that, oh yeah, Sweet Baby Inc. is all, everybody's working. And I'm like, I said that already.
That is interesting. And I saw you talking about that on your stream. I didn't even know there was a former employee that wrote an article until you talked.
Yeah, it was what's his name? Grant Roberts. I have him
And
on my list here.
what did they write it on? Like what outlet?
I let me see. I have a link to it here. I was actually sent it. Grant Roberts, former narrative director at CBA Inc., tells us that the studio's work continues even after facing overwhelming abuse from The Gamer.
The Gamer, 3 days ago.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
And I found it interesting because literally the night before I made my video and I said, hey, I know that they haven't really been as affected and you'll have to just kind of take my word for it because I can't really prove it. And then it's like the next day it's like, well,
dude,
there we go.
You know what's really funny? We're going to sidetrack this real quick.
Sure.
This goes in line with your flow chart. This is crazy what I'm about to do right now. Let me do this. Share. Okay. Oh man, look at those Norton antiviruses, dude. Don't be afraid to click on the ads if you guys visit smashjt.com for my 0.0001 cents that I get for any time someone clicks on it. No, but the reason why I want to come here, Kotaku Detected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're all familiar with this right now. Let me scroll down here. Previous worked at Kotaku. Okay, we know all these people, blah blah blah. Then we gotta go to fuck you, the friends of Kotaku.
Hold on. Ash Parrish. I'm pretty sure I know who she is.
She's from The Verge.
Yes, but there's something interesting. I'm pretty sure that she is on my chart here. Oh no, she's not. Okay, maybe I was wrong.
Well, she did come up today with a tweet that she had that was weird, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Where is she? No, I could search by name, but it's more fun to do this. Okay. Guess who we got over here on the left? See this person?
Mm-hmm.
What do you notice underneath them? Wrote hit piece. Wrote hit piece on Black Myth Wukong. Stated developer accused of sexist unprofessional work culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're all remembering her name's Rhiannon Bevan. Okay, ready? This is your article that you were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Guess who wrote it?
Rhiannon Bevan. Ah ha ha. Didn't notice that.
So small world. They all work. It's the same, like it's the same thing every time. Like it's not even surprising anymore. And that's why when I created Kotaku Detected, there was so much anger on their end because they knew once this happens that it'll just be completely exposed for everyone to see. Like this person now has an established track record of running defense for the industry. You know what I mean?
No, it makes sense.
And I
didn't see the name because I didn't put two and two together, but it makes a lot of sense that they kind of, and I'll say, I did notice that a lot of the people I was looking up for the flow chart, some of them, especially people who worked at CBB Inc. before or were connected with them, did have connections at certain publications. So,
and isn't it interesting how they always run full defense for SBI? And I think we're all searching for that elusive smoking gun as far as some sort of potential. I'm not saying this is what it is, but some sort of potential financial transaction. Because it's like, why would Alyssa Mercante, for example, write an article titled "Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what you think they do"? Right when all the pressure was coming on Sweet Baby Inc. for doing exactly what we think they do. What benefit to her is that? Like, why would she do that? And that's not rhetorical. I'm asking you, like, why do you know why she would? Just because she's buddies with Kim or Dave Bedard? Like, why would she write that article? What benefit?
So I will tell you, I can't prove anything here, mind you, but it seems like it was weird because when I was doing all the research for my flowchart, I had to look up a lot of LinkedIn's, and obviously I did it privately, but it would always suggest Alyssa on the side. Whenever I was looking for certain people, it would suggest Alyssa as one of the contacts. So it'll say like, if you're looking for this person, you might be interested in this person, and it would always show connections. So there's no like evidence of this, but I guarantee that she is connected in some way. Now, I wouldn't be surprised also if some of the articles that she's just written because she just wants to get back at people who are making fun of her sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I think that's definitely a part of it. I think she has a big ego, and I offered to talk with her. I was kind of one of the most level-headed people, I would say, in regards to, I was like, hey, I'll have to talk with you. She flew into a tantrum over me calling her narcissist. But I think that she sometimes will just write articles just because she gets annoyed or angry at things. But I also do think there's some kind of connections there. I don't have anything definitive yet, but I will say there's a lot of interesting connections, especially with Chris Kindred. Actually, he has some very interesting connections to publications, which I found interesting.
Do you have any like details on that, or just generally speaking?
He worked for Polygon at one point.
Right, you told me that. That's right. Okay, so that's the crazy thing, by the way, because from what I understood, I could be completely wrong here, but wasn't he one of the people that was like quote unquote super underqualified, but Kim was raising him up to put him in a position?
Yes, but you know what the craziest thing is? I mentioned also there's another person on Sweet Baby Inc.'s team. Let me see what his name is. I never know how to pronounce it. His name is, where is it? It's on my chart. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong area.
I almost feel like while you're doing that, I almost feel like I should. It's a shit ton of work, but it's almost worth doing to add the individual people at Sweet Baby Inc. in a section on.
You know what's interesting? I could just send you over some of that information. I could take a picture of that part of the thing and send it over. But Pelos Tassavosis, he didn't have any experience at any company at all, ever. There was no experience at all. He was a bartender. He was brought on to their show.
Oh, the mixologist, I heard you say talking about
the podcast. He was brought on for Cocktail, Sexiest Cocktail, episode 38.
Oh, God.
I did want to address one thing because I see people mentioning in the chat. People are like confused, like, who's this guy? Is he the master of the Trump derangement? No,
every time. God,
every time.
Someday you keep doing this. Someday you'll be popular enough where that question will just be answered for you, so you don't have to stress about it.
I hope. But look, it means Master of the Total Defense Shogun. It was a Yu-Gi-Oh card. The Total Defense Shogun, it attacks from defense mode. Off defense is the best offense. That was kind of a thing. I did Yu-Gi-Oh content. I did it way before Trump derangement syndrome was ever a thing. And then I got run off YouTube and basically never came back, or it wasn't going to come back until I did. And then the game stuck because I've used it for almost over almost 10 years.
Yeah, so. You've used it since before the TDS was actually Trump derangement syndrome. You predated it. So yeah, it's not your fault.
But yeah, just wanted to give that recap for some people.
But anyway, back to what you were saying. So this person was
a mixologist. That's it. Bartender. He was a bartender. I don't even know. I looked at his experience. He's only ever been like a bartender or worked at CPB Inc. That's it.
It's like these people are not qualified for work. And the only reason they're getting a chance is because of the color of their skin. It is literally the most racist thing you could do. Ironically.
Yeah, it's weird, but as I said, like I will say a lot of these people definitely, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them have more experience that we don't know about, simply because they they're probably a little bit wise to people looking in on them and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were some people who, had more experience, but like didn't put it on LinkedIn or didn't put it somewhere.
Mm,
I will say that there are some interesting, that there are interesting sites and stuff like you can look up. You can find like that Kim Belair is credited on like 20 different games. I don't know which ones exactly because you have to pay for some of these sites, but like
mhm.
they have a lot of interesting history.
Yeah, it's something I've noticed as well. So I guess what I'll say is I'll jump over if you're good with this, unless you had more you wanted to talk about on
Nope.
this article. I'll jump
I
over
I,
to.
I,
Oh,
I
go
did
ahead.
want to say one thing though,
Yeah,
because
go.
they in this article at one point he mentions how he would have loved other people in the industry to speak up to fight against the harassment, and I'm just like, in this article, you never mentioned the fact that you literally had an employee go after a person for making a list and try to get his Steam account removed and try to ruin his life. And you think that's not harassment because it was okay there. If you would have at least mentioned it, I would have had a little bit more respect for you. Maybe a little bit,
Well,
right? But they
I
never mention it.
I think it goes back to it's something that we can't understand because we are. Um, I just we're understanding people, and we're normal, sensical. The people we're dealing with, it's a different breed. It's almost alien, where they don't they don't approach life like what we would consider a normal way to approach life, and it's very foreign to me specifically. I'm speaking personally, where they don't know how to acknowledge a wrongdoing. They don't know how to apologize. They feel like every time that they do that, that they're admitting defeat and that they will be completely destroyed from that. And I think the reason why they're like that is because it's projection. It's how they approach life. If they see someone apologize, they try to destroy them for that. And I'm like, that's not normal. That's not how people operate on a normal spectrum. This is very different. And I think that's the difference. It's the common trend in all of this, where going back to like Alyssa when she wrote that article, or Ash Parrish when she parroted it, or what the hell is that? Hold on one second. Where is she? I think she was Wired. She's pretty hot. The one of the more attractive girls. Here, Megan Farakashamana. She's all
Oh
right.
yeah, I remember that one. She wrote the one. I forget the name of the article.
Misled readers by leaving out key aspects of why Sweet Baby Inc. started the
Yeah,
Gamergate.
yeah, I saw that one. I remember I commented on that one and told her like, "Hey, why are you mentioning?" I think she blocked me after that.
Probably, but she's buddy. I've seen her tweeting at Alyssa and Ash Parrish, and they all do the same thing. Like they all parrot the same talking points, the same thing, and it's fascinating to me because it's like none of them will acknowledge the real reason why it started, and it's just wild. Like what will happen if you do that? Do you feel like your world will come crashing down? You would literally give yourself like credibility by saying, hey, this is how it started, but here's how it really spiraled out of control. Where that way at least you can say, yeah, I guess we threw the first stone, but they threw the Mount Kilimanjaro at us, or something like that. Like they could still be slanted because they would be, but it's just wild to me they can't even start at the proper starting point. And I know people in the comments are like, oh, it's a cult, it's rage farming. It is, but I'm just talking on a human level. Just like it's just weird to me. How can you go to sleep at night knowing that you're deceiving people, and like not living in misery? But I guess I guess that explains why many of them live in misery.
I honestly think one of the reasons they're able to go to sleep at night is because they honestly are so entrenched in what they believe that they believe that they are right. And because they believe that they're right, it doesn't bother them at all.
I think you're onto something, because one common trend that I've seen with all these people is they lack. I'm not saying that they're dumb, but they lack the obvious common sense gene, and it's like a common trend with all of them, where they're just missing that thing that you just assume everyone has. I almost think it's kind of like I don't want to like go so far as say autism or on the spectrum, but there's something missing in all of them, and they all have that same thing missing, and it's just very just curious. Something I've noticed. That's all. That's all. So selective empathy, as the real Bob Newman says.
So now that's actually good. That's a good way of actually describing it.
Exactly. Like I'm trying just to be real. Like I'm sure they'd hear this and they're probably raging right now and be like, "How dare you talk about us like this?" And it's like this is my experience in conversations with them and seeing how they write things and how they write their stories. It's not it's not giving your audience the full picture. It's not being honest with them. And at the end of the day, if you can't be honest with your audience, what 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 are you doing it for? Why are you I I don't, it breaks my brain when I try to make sense of it. But anyways, was there anything else to go through on this
Nope,
before
that was it. I just wanted to say that they never mention it, and if they did, it would give me like a smidge more respect for them if they could at least just
100%.
acknowledge it. Like even if it's just a sentence, just acknowledge it. It's okay.
100%. 100%. And I keep going back to that too. It's almost to the point of it's almost comedy at this point, where it's just like they really are pushing it so far. It's like they just won't acknowledge. It's just funny. Like, what the hell? Um, what Sweet Baby has not done is show up at game studios and say, "Hey, we're making your game woke now, or else," says Roberts. It's like that's a straw man argument that no one has ever accused them of going to a studio and saying that. So that is a straight up straw man. I'm just like skimming through this and picking up points like immediately. Like this is a
And
article
there's a
built
one
on
part.
stilts.
There's one part of the article that you should look at. That I think it's where there's an image of Spider-Man. The person asks them what Sweet Baby Inc. actually does, and I think the answer is very telling. Because it literally basically is like, we don't do what you think we do, but we kind of do. Right there. That's his answer.
The way I think of it is like two axes, he explains. Wait, did they two axes and then
Yeah, I don't think they
axes?
spelled and like an axis. Yeah, I think they
I mean, by making this mistake, it completely breaks the point of it, because I'm like, I don't know what they're referring to. What?
but read what they say. Read what they say.
I
It's
can't get
hilarious.
past
They're like,
this. What the hell are they even saying? Oh shit. Okay. There's the axis of scope of what we do on a project, ranging from doing the entire narrative of the game, world building, and writing a narrative direction, all the way down to reading somebody's body design doc or checking out a character bio. And yes, sometimes that takes the form of authenticity, sensitivity, and diversity, and things like that.
so in other words, we do lots of things, but we also do this. So you do what we say you do. You just don't do it all the time. Okay, so that doesn't make it any different. It's like, yes, we do this, but only some of the time. So we're a little better. It's like, okay.
It kind of reminds me of the Office Space. Had you seen Office Space? I don't
Nope.
remember. Okay, I think it was you I was talking to about that.
Yeah, you were me
like,
and my wife.
yeah, that's right. I'm like, I've been talking to so many people lately. There's a part in Office Space where they're interviewing them, and they're looking to see who they can cut from the company because they're trying to reduce budget. And the two guys that are in there trying to cut the budget, they're like, so you just to paraphrase it, he's like, so you write the papers for the bosses. He's like, no, my secretary does that. And he's like, oh, okay, so you you do this for that guy. And he's like, no, I have this guy that does that. And they're like, okay. And they look at each other and they look at him. And they're like, so indulge us. Like, what exactly is it you do here? And he's like, I'm a people person. Like, he doesn't even have a job. He doesn't even know what he does. He just is there. And it's like, this kind of reminds me of what Sweet Baby Inc. is, where they're just there. And when everyone calls them out on it, they're like, no, we're people persons. You can't yell at us. We do stuff. And it's like, well, no, you don't. You really don't. And the stuff you do destroys the actual credible art that's been created. So it's just it actually does a disservice. It's a net negative on the overall impact of a project. So it brings you back to the outside of ESG scores, what benefit does Sweet Baby Inc. present to a company? And the answer is pretty obvious right now. It's nothing. Like, there's literally nothing except raising an ESG score, which I've seen people try to argue that that's not for ESG score. It's like there's no proof, there's no tangible evidence of that. People just say that, throw it out there like it's a buzzword. You just say ESG scores. It doesn't actually mean anything. It's like, okay, if we're going to go from that premise that ESG scores don't mean anything, then why would someone hire Sweet Baby Inc. when it's been proven time and time again that they destroy projects? Why would someone take the business direction into them? It's like steering a ship into an iceberg purposefully. Why would you do that? I haven't been able to get an answer for that.
I don't think we'll ever get an answer. Honestly, I think the closest we're ever going to get to an answer is the thing where Kim Belair says, if they don't do what you want, go out, take them out for coffee and terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. And honestly, I think that's the closest to an answer we're ever going to get as to why they listen to these people.
The first time I heard that, I was in shock. I was like, my brain was misfiring. I was like, what did she just say? And it's not like it was something that slipped out. It was a presentation that she had written down. That was part of her presentation that she's parroted multiple times. I've seen on video in different settings. So it wasn't an accident, which still completely blows my mind with the audacity that she had, thinking that she could say something like that and not be questioned about it. That's just insane to me. Absolutely insane.
It's so funny, though, because now when I think back on these speeches, even though I can think of oh my God, it's crazy someone would say this. When I look at one of those speeches now, or I think back on them now, all I can think about is this is a woman who likes Bowser, is sexually attracted to Bowser. And it just ruins it for me.
No, she likes Bowser's lizard dick, according to her. It's not even Bowser. It's just his lizard dick. She couldn't look away from it. She wanted to look at all the different types of lizard dicks.
It was so weird. And now it's it's so funny because now it's every time I watch anything or I see her, I just think this is the lady who's sexually attracted to Bowser.
Yeah. That's, I mean, that's all my brain is telling me is what you just said is that's one way to kill a conversation. I'm like, I have no follow-up to that.
I know. That's what it's like. It's like you think okay, maybe I can listen to what she has to say. Maybe there's some coherent point in there. And you just think this is a lady who is sexually attracted to Bowser and made a podcast about it. It's like,
well, not just Bowser, by the way, a fucking antelope too.
Ugh, don't even get me. She apparently also, I don't know if anybody knew this, but the reason that she has those skulls is because she collects them. It's like a collection.
That's totally.
It was mentioned. She actually wrote for some sites. So it was mentioned in her bio on one of those sites that the reason that she likes to collect skulls.
I think it's fascinating. This whole Sweet Baby thing is it's. I don't want to say the gift that keeps on giving. It's the story that is just an endless fountain of entertainment. You just look up stuff and you find it and you're like, holy shit, this person did what in a previous life?
It's weird. It's weird. I get people have strange hobbies.
They're CEO of a company. CEOs, we all have this mentality of CEOs are well, I mean, lately, not so much, but historically, CEOs had a good head on their shoulders and were the knowledgeable, making the hard decisions and intelligent. And then you see her and you're just like, well, she's lacking every quantifiable skill that a CEO should have, and yet she is in that position. And I don't know if you saw the videos that's since been taken down. I watched it on a
Yeah.
live stream the other night, from the Powell Group, where they
Yep.
had David Bedard and Kim Belair. Did you see that whole
Yes.
video?
Did you know that people don't realize what that video is? And that's what I thought was very interesting. That video is something really important. That's why I'm glad. I think I have it downloaded somewhere
Well,
because
I have
it's really
my live stream. It's just you got to fight through me talking over it, but it's
no,
there.
but the images they're showing on screen when they talk,
Yeah.
it's a pitch deck. That's
No,
the
no, it's
CWA
an
pitch deck.
advertisement. Yeah, it's straight up
No,
advertisement.
but that I guarantee that's their pitch deck that they go to everybody with and be like, "Here you go." It
Yeah.
looks like it's put together like professionally.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do, is try to sell more business for it. I see Top Loaded. What's up, Trevor? I haven't seen you forever, man. How you doing, man? Hope all is well, by the way. I know Trevor went through some stuff during one of the storms that kind of destroyed his house. So good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. But as far as the video specifically with Kim Belair and David Bedard, did you notice something interesting about the dynamic between the two of them in that video?
I think Kim talks more.
Yeah, just a bit. She
Yeah,
talked about 95% of it, and he said literally 5 minutes of stuff, and she talked for 2 hours. And
Yeah,
they both on screen the whole time.
I'll give her some credit. I mean, if there is one thing that she could do well, is she can kind of control a crowd. It gets to a certain degree. You have to give her props for that. Like standing up in front of those people at XOXO, I wouldn't be able to do that, you know?
She is excellent with that. She is excellent with that. I'll give her that. Yeah. Which that's the kind of stuff that can get you in trouble. If you're good with a public speaking and you can fool people and trick them into stuff and make them think you're someone that you're not, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass, like full force 100 times over, if you are embellishing what you do or leaving out pertinent facts, which is what literally is happening right now. And they hate us so much for just showing them a mirror of who they are and what they're doing. And it's got to tell you something, if you're them, if that's what's happening right now. We're not making anything up. We're not embellishing anything. We're literally using their tweets and what their buddies, their journo buddies are saying about them or leaving out about them, and how the games that have come out that they've worked on have continuously flopped over and over and over again. Like, we're not like being dicks for the sake of being dicks. It's like there is an established trend, a pattern. This is reality. Get mad at us all you want, but we are literally just giving you the reflection of what's happening right now. It should tell you all you need to know. So,
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was going to agree. I was agreeing with you.
Okay, so we're good with this story right now.
Yep.
Anything else to chat about this? Because this is
I
didn't even know about this. You found this. I got to add this to Kotaku Detected under wherever the hell I put her.
You just missed her. She was just down there. Red hair. There.
Did I pass her again?
Yeah, passed her right there. There she is.
That's not her. That's from
the Rihanna. Oh, the Rihanna person. Never mind. Sorry.
Down here. Yeah. So I got to add it.
There.
I got to add it to this. I got to give another bullet point for her now. For
I'm
this
sure
story.
Alyssa will love that.
Oh yeah. Well, anything to take the attention off Alyssa. Although no, I think she wants the attention.
Clearly.
I mean, I gave up.
Clearly, she does what she's been doing lately. Gosh.
Dude, I gave up even adding bullets to Alyssa because there was just so much stuff that I'm just like, this is just, I can't even get that.
Just put a bullet that says etc.
Yeah,
etc. It's just like a link to like
literally everything.
Or do you just make it? What hasn't she done? Is a better question.
That's true. Oh shit, it's funny. But But off topic, before I move on to the next thing, I'm curious to know, just for fun, how long do you give Kotaku before they go under?
So that's a tough question because I think that they're actually backed by significant funding. I will say what's funny is, and I posted about this a while back, but nobody really picked it up. Kotaku Australia is dead, and their site no longer even directs to their old articles. So there were employees like screaming and crying about it and being like, "We can't get to archives
Oh
of
no,
our
no, I
old
covered that.
articles."
Yeah, no, I covered that. Yeah.
Um, but how long do I give it? I would love to say like I give it another year. Like I give it another year. I'm
That's
being
a long
generous. I think
time.
another year is what they is the best case scenario they got.
Do you know the funniest thing about Kotaku Australia, by the way? Um, if I can bring it up, Kotaku.au. Was it Kotaku.au?
I think it was yeah.
Because there was a time where Kotaku.au. Oh, this is funny. So Kotaku.au was redirecting to Kotaku after they shut down, and now it just doesn't exist at all. But their YouTube channel is still up, and this is fucking hysterical. This is so embarrassing. They're crying, saying, "Oh, good journalists, this is unfair. This, that, the other thing." You have just over 1,000 subscribers, and you get about 200 views on your podcast. 29 views on this one.
The hot pink is really not working for them.
No, it's not. This is people that don't understand social media. They don't understand branding. They don't understand what people care about. They're so infatuated with the narcissism themselves that they think just by putting Kotaku on something that, oh, people, we are important. We are someone. And it's like, no one gives a shit because you're the opposite of important. People are going to proactively ignore you. 29 views. 29 views. What? Imagine doing a 42-minute podcast to getting 29 views from a major, massive, multi-million dollar conglomerate company. Now, I know this is a division that paid for the name. I get all that. But 29 views? Come on.
But they were like, I loved how they were saying, like, "Oh my God, no one's able to get to the archives of our articles anymore." And it's like, I
All
hate to
29
break it to
people.
you, no one was reading them.
The modern audience can't get to it. All 29 of them. What are they going to do?
I guarantee. I'm sorry, Smash, you're being too nice. I guarantee a couple of those views, at least maybe 10 of them, are probably just them rewatching.
You're right. Absolutely right.
You're being too nice. You're being too
That's
nice.
a great point. That's a really good.
Wait, here's a better question. How
What's
many employees did they have?
I think they had like 7.
So
7 or
subtract 7 and then subtract 10 for rewatches, and that's the real number.
Good point. Good point. Like, this is just, I actually never really looked at this too deep. This is unbelievable.
Oh
This is
God, you're gonna
wild.
make me go down a rabbit hole, Smash.
I know. That's what my streams always turn into. Okay, well, before moving on to the next thing, so we're good on this because this was a banger catch by you. I didn't even know about this, so thank you for you are a fountain of knowledge, man. You are awesome.
I try. I'm not perfect, but the thing is, I guess how I'm a fountain of knowledge with this kind of stuff is I figured out how the Twitter algorithm works from learning stuff with bots and whatever.
Mhm.
So I basically I have an account that's not me, that's obviously I use for other things, that literally has because there are certain things that because there are certain things that I've quote tweeted or certain things that I've done or bookmarked or whatever, it influences what shows up on my feed.
Mhm.
So by doing that, I've tailored it to basically any news that comes out, I get like really quick. So don't ask me how. I don't know how to recreate it, but it works.
And I'm gonna put your channel in the chat right now. If people who don't know Master of the TDS, he actually does his channel on Gothic therapy, and he does it with his wife, and it is awesome. And they break a ton of stuff, especially Sweet Baby Ink stuff. So if you guys don't know him, check him out. It's in the description of this video too, but I just put it in the chat as well. So check him out if you enjoy him. Sub to him. If you don't sub to him, because no one likes dead subs. That's what I tell people about me too. Like, watch me if you want to watch me. If you don't like me, please don't sub to me, because I don't want dead subs. So we're good on this. Any further on this before I move on to the next thing?
I think that's pretty much it. I just think it's funny because Grant Roberts could talk about this stuff because he's a former. I think he's formerly worked for Sweet Baby Inc. I don't think he works anymore.
Let me actually. Yeah, recently. So no more. This recently spent, meaning he's no more.
Hold on. Let me see. I got him on my chart. Grant Roberts. He actually. I think he recently he's out. He is not working for them as of October of October 24.
So that's wild. So basically, as soon as he stepped away, they got him for an article 3 days ago. So that was like a week after.
I don't think that's a coincidence.
Interesting. I wonder why. Because this is all positive for Sweet Baby Inc. Even after he's gone, you think?
Well, he says in the article he'd work with them again in a heartbeat.
Well, that's because it's a cult, and if you speak out against them, you are blackballed from the industry. So you have to do that if you want to keep working. So maybe he believes that, but even if he didn't, he'd have to parrot that if he wants a job in the industry moving forward.
True.
But cool. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, let me go through some. Do you mind if I go through some super chats real quick?
No, go ahead.
Cool. Okay, we got Caps Lock 3 for 5. Not to sound like a gooner, but I long for the days where all the new games are edgy and are basically porn games, but on par with GTA and Witcher 3. I mean, I would say that's very based. I don't think there's anything about being a gooner wanting attractive people in your games. I don't understand where that all came from. Like, the opposite of wanting attractive people in a game is what? Like
wanting Bowser in your game,
right? I don't understand that whole angle from people. But thank you for the 5, Caps Lock. John Coleman for 2. Dear Kim, does Bowser have a hemipene?
She's never gonna live that down. She's always gonna be known as the Bowser lady, and it's gonna be hilarious.
I mean, I'm trying to choose my words carefully here, not to be too much of a dick, too much of a Bowser dick. But this is what you get when you publicly say the things you said on a public forum. Like, welcome to the internet. Everything you say can and will be used against you, as we have all learned. Anyone that does this and grows their channel, anything you say will, and it just can and will be used against you completely. So you can either get angry and stomp your feet, or just embrace it and be like, yep. Either way, it's still going to happen. So let people. That's the other thing, by the way, real quick before I go on to the next one. That's the other thing that always cracks me up with these people on that side that are trying so hard to control what people are allowed to say. And it's like, that's why they want to control you, so that you can't say the things about them that they say and expose it. They don't want it out there. They're like, no, not like that. I didn't mean you to know that I like Bowser's dick. God, it's supposed to get out.
I don't know if I mentioned, I was told by somebody that apparently at some point SoundCloud implemented like a paid feature, right? And what ended up happening was if you didn't pay for it, it like privated a bunch of your podcasts. So there's a very good chance that every single one of their podcasts were still up. And then it was only when that came into effect that it removed them, except for 4. So there's a very good chance that every single one of them were up there at some point. which is a shame. I wish we had gotten to them sooner, but
I had someone in my Discord share a different link with me. It wasn't SoundCloud and it wasn't Apple Podcasts. It was like a backup site. And like
yeah.
I found them. I found them all, and you can play them all. And I was like, oh shit. And I went to it, and I sure as
You
shit,
put
I found them all. But here's the problem: those 4 that we have are the only ones that actually played.
Yeah,
The
I found them too. That's how
yeah,
I used it to map in the flowchart. Is I found them there, all the names, but it doesn't play them because it doesn't have an archive to them.
yep. And the Internet Archive doesn't save like files like that, right? So
Nope. The
yeah.
Wayback Machine probably I doubt,
No, that's
doubt
what I
that
mean.
one.
The Internet Archive, the Wayback Machine.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
doesn't- that
Yeah,
doesn't-
I don't think so. I was gonna say no, sorry, not the Wayback. The Internet Archive. The Internet Archive sometimes does it. That's a
Wait,
different.
the Internet Archive is the Wayback Machine. It's the same thing.
No. Wait, it's not that. That's not the name. Sorry.
Okay.
Where was
As
it?
you keep saying that, I'm confused. I'm like, they're the same thing.
Forget the name. Oh no.
Archive.io or whatever. Archive.
Yeah,
Something.
it's a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
it's a different site. It's like I think it's for like I don't know. I had something in my head and I think it's for like lost media, but like someone said in the chat there's multiple archive sites. So it's probably another archive site that I remembered, but they don't have it because nobody had an interest in archiving them. Interestingly though, one of the podcasts that Sweet Baby Inc., or at least one member of them was involved with, do have archives, which is really interesting.
Interesting. Huh. I mean, yeah, I would love to not listen to all of them because God kill me, but I would be very intrigued to listen to spots of some of them. Oh, did, did we just lose him? He's gone. He's gone. I'm still alive. I don't know what just happened, but he ripped TDS. Yeah, that was weird. He's gone. I don't really have I don't have a video for that. Oh man, I need to step my game up. Oh, he's back. He's back. There he is.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I thought my computer went down. I was like, oh shit.
Nope, it was me. For some reason, I clicked the link to something and it decided to open it up on the page that I was in instead of a different one.
Okay.
So it just kicked
Okay.
me completely out. But
Like,
no, I'm trying to see how many episodes there. Oh my god. Holy crap,
like
there's a lot of these.
60 or 62 episodes, right? Or something like that.
No, this is a different podcast and it's got pages and pages and page. Oh my god.
Hit the mother load.
No, I don't even want to listen to these because it's only got one member of CBB Inc. on them, and I'm just not wasting my time.
I don't blame you. Let me get back to these supers. We're gonna be here all night if I don't do this. Retromeister for 10. Thank you so much. Smash from articles about Ubisoft removing Tom Clancy's name from X Defiant and modernizing Sam Fisher for Splinter Cell reboot. I feel like they're slowly removing his name and legacy from Ubisoft. I agree, and you know why they're doing that? Drum roll. Do not have to pay for the Tom Clancy name and IP. It's no different than creating Miles Morales, so you don't have to pay for Peter Parker. It's literally a tried and true formula to move away from that stuff, and it sucks. It sucks so much. No one wants it, but it keeps happening. Thank you for the 10. The real Bob Newman becomes a member, all on his own. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you. Leo Fisher for 20 banger. Wait, a 20 banger. I gotta do this for a 20 banger. I love it. I'm like a kid in the candy store with these new videos. This is great. Thank you for the 20, Leo. Did the bartender have big shoulders or some other Bowser and Tom?
It's hard to tell because his profile picture is very like hidden. So it's hard to. It's like his face is like in shadow in it. It's really weird.
I think they do that on purpose. You notice how secretive they all are. Like
No, wait, I can see his face. I don't think he looks Bowser-like. Might not be Kim's type.
Does he look like an antelope?
He looks like a soy jack. No offense.
Oh man, Leo, thank you so much for the 20. Appreciate that. The
Yeah,
Proctophile. Go ahead.
The Popo's mentioning what I said. That it's T.S. Po Travosi. That's the guy who we talked about, the bartender. He owns a restaurant. That's the guy who he owns a restaurant. That's the one
Bartender owned a restaurant.
Yeah, he's a bartender. I think he's a bartender. He owns a restaurant, and that's literally all he's done. Like, he doesn't have any experience in the gaming industry. He's only been working. He's working for CPB Inc. for 4 years.
But okay, I got a question. Why would you own a restaurant and then one day be like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go do some narrative design for a video game company that treats black people like gold"?
I don't know. He's got some interesting connections. As I said, I honestly think he was hired through the Sexiest podcast. The question is, how did Kim come to know him? Don't know. Still looking into it.
Maybe she met him at his restaurant.
Maybe. That would make sense, actually.
I've heard crazier stories. In fact, that's actually in one of my old jobs way back in the day, like 14 years ago. One of the head honchos at the company met someone that was a waiter at her restaurant and offered her a job to be a recruiter on the spot. And she was terrible at her job, but she got along so well with her that she offered her a job because she met her at the restaurant. So I personally heard stories of that actually happening. So
it would make sense. I could see Kim being the kind of person who's like, oh, let me try out this restaurant. Oh, I like the guy here. Hey, you want to come on my podcast? I could totally see you're doing that.
Yep. The Proctophile for 5. At least take our mental illnesses seriously. God damn it. We diagnose them all by ourselves. Caps Lock 3 for 5. Thank you so much. Could you imagine if these freaks put more energy in making the game good rather than injecting politics into it? Well, that's the thing, that they're not talented. I don't know. We live in the era of everyone gets a trophy, and you're not allowed to tell someone they're not good at their job, because then they'll try to cancel you for saying such awful, horrible things. But like, the truth really hurts. Sometimes you're just not cut out for it. I think that's where like I come in for this kind of stuff. Not that I'm perfect by any stretch, people can say, plenty of people do say I'm not good at this. But when I was a recruiter, I would have to have very hard conversations with people about what their aspirations were and where they were really at. So that's why I'm like, when I see what's happening right now, that's why I'm very raw, where I'm just like, no, you're not good at your job. Like, you shouldn't be there. Like, leave, go do something else. This what you're doing is not helping anyone. In fact, it's actually hurting others, and you're destroying companies and losing jobs for other people because of your negligence of how poor you are doing your own job. But that's neither here nor there. Billy on the Mars for 10. Thank you so much. Have you seen YF2's Yellow Flash 2's video on Yasuke recently? I've not, but I will check it out. I was on Yellow Flash last night. It. You did see it? Well, do you remember?
I'm sorry. I watched so many things that to keep up on stuff. I don't remember exact details. I'm sure if I watched like a minute of it, I'd remember it. But trying to remember.
Yeah, but I was on Flashcast last night, so
haven't been invited yet. Maybe one day.
Dude, keep it up. You will be for sure. Especially with the Sweet Baby Ink stuff. He covers that all the time. He would love to have you on, especially with showing. I'll tell him. I'll tell him about tonight too. Maybe he'll have you on next week. Secret Final Boss for 2. Thank you so much. Her name has been Miss Kim Belair Koopa all along.
Oh God. No, don't do Bowser like that. Come on, he could do better. Come on.
I don't know. Bowser might be into that. I know Atreus is. Bushin Ryu Cat for 5. To fix the gaming industry, start the young kids who study C++ programming and writing, drafts game ideas, and keep their morals. Phase out the old guard. I mean, ideally, yes. I think that's where the world should be at. People should follow their passion and do what they love to do. I think the problem with what we've fallen into in the world right now is everything's just it's so hard. It's so hard. Everything costs so much, and it's so hard to just follow your passion and follow your drive when you just need to make ends meet and pay your bills. If you find someone that's offering a job, you'll just fucking do it. And you end up working somewhere where you shouldn't work, and then you just create a resume out of that, and you're not happy your whole life. And that's a true tragedy of the modern era. And I think it goes back to like when I went to college, I'll never forget. They're like, "Okay, what are you majoring in?" Like when I was at the orientation, I was like, and the college I went to was known for nursing, and they're like, "Oh, you're here for nursing?" And I was like, "No, I'm a dude. What? I'm a nursing? What? No." They're like, "Oh, are you here for the business program?" I was like, "Yeah, that sounds generic enough. Sure." Like they want people to decide what they want to do for the rest of their life when they're fucking like 19 years old, 18 years old. It's like it doesn't work like that. But at least in the modern era of technology, we're able to, get educated, try, fail, and then eventually fall into what we love and hopefully have that take us to where we want it to go. But holy shit. Some dumb guy gifted another. Is this another? I needed to. Oh no, it's not another. Sorry. This is the same 20. Okay. Why is it all the way after all these other people? Anyways, some dumb guy, thank you so much for the 20 memberships. Appreciate you. Makini draws for 5. Evening Smash and TDS. Evening, Makini.
Nice to see you, Makini. Been a while.
Good to see you. Building the Mars, another. Well, this one's 20. I think the other one was 10, but. Never gonna get old. I love that. Apparently, someone at Ubisoft thinks Yasuke can heal the world.
Yeah, that was the video in Yellow Flash's video. I remember that now. It was like, I think he was reading an article. I can't remember if it was an article or some sort of thing he was reading about it. And one of the people there actually said that they think that that Yasuke can heal the world. And it was just like, what?
What? Isn't Yasuke like the Japanese mafia?
I don't know if you could say that, Smash.
What what are they?
I don't know.
TDS is like, anyways, my internet is getting rough. I'm gonna go. King of the Monsters for 2. Valhalla! Thank you for the 2, King of the Monsters. Adair Soto for the 2 with the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Adair Soto. Appreciate you. Is that all of them? I feel like there are more coming through, but it's not showing up on the start. So I think that's all of them. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're caught up. Cool. Thank you, Adair Soto, for the thumbs up emoji. Appreciate you. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about. Look at me being all professional and shit. It's almost like I'm organized here. If I stream enough, I'll actually come across as somewhat organized. King of the Monsters, before I get into it, the upcoming Wolverine game is more than likely going to be Sweet Baby Doo-Doo, right?
I can confirm, unfortunately, that they've posted about it on their Twitter page. I apologize to be the bearer of bad news.
I thought they don't use their Twitter anymore. They're in protected, but they don't
posted about it a while back. It's still there. Actually, I think I have it. Let me see if I have it. I do. Let me quickly. I can actually have it for you to show that they posted this. Hopefully, it won't reveal the fact that they don't know that I have access, or they do and they can't figure out how. But
Well, take that while I do this. Some dumb goy for 2. Thank you so much. Even YouTube couldn't deny. Appreciate you, some dumb goy. Thank you for your support. Tremendous support. The all-star tonight, some dumb goy. Well, while you're doing that,
yep, I have it. Like I'll have it in like 2 minutes.
Okay, no worries. So let me prep people for the next part here. So Savvy. Oh, damn. Okay, well, hold on. Adair Soto for another 10. Thank you so much, Adair Soto. Wait, he can heal the world? So he's George Floyd 2.0? Are we going to get a summer of love again? We all know what happened is that what they meant, healing the world. I mean, it depends on your definition of healing. Like burning things down, is that a form of healing? PD for 2, thank you so much. Can you two discuss the trend of toxic positivity? That is a that's
a big topic.
Yeah. I mean, that's not, we couldn't even do that like quickly.
Yeah, I have the Wolverine thing. You want to see it?
Okay, real quick. Let me just do this real quick. Milkshake 420 for 2. It was the Yakuza. That's the Japanese mafia. If anyone's listening, Milkshake said it, not me this time. Okay, cool.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Why can't I move us out of the way? There we go. Let me move this out of the way too. Thwimp and also Snick. So excited and grateful to say we're part of the teams bringing Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine to life with the amazing folks at Insomniac Games. It's been a truly marvelous experience. This was back in 2021.
Yeah, so they've been on it for a while. It's possible. I know that they recently announced that, like, I think the person in charge of it was like leaving for creative differences, but it's clearly they've known about being involved with this game for a while. So I wouldn't hold out hope for it, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, the other thing too, let me hop over to my screen real quick. Look at this. I'm master of, you're master of TDS. I'm master of switching screens here. Mary Kenny, for those that recall, was the associate narrative director of Marvel's Wolverine before she so abruptly left to go over to what the hell is it? The Witcher. What company? CD Projekt Red. There we go. So she's a CD Projekt Red now, but she's the one that wanted to push LGBTQ in everything and pull every lever, which is totally a normal thing to say when you work on games. Billion Lamar's for 10. Yasuke needs a halo over his head now. He's a saint to Ubisoft. Like the George Floyd. I do find it interesting just how, and thank you for the 10 billion, by the way. Sorry. Thank you so much for that. I do find it interesting that this is so childish and like unprofessional, but giddy, like almost like someone who's way in over their head is like, holy shit, I can't believe we're working on this. Like we're not qualified for it. Like that. When I read it the way they wrote it here, it comes across as they're in over their head. What's that?
To me, it comes off very phony. It sounds like someone's trying to make it more exciting than it actually is. I mean, like doing the thwip and the snick, I thought that was kind of funny. And then kind of leaving it at that, the adding the like marvelous, it's like, okay, that's a little too much. Like you can make like one joke and it get away with it. And after that's kind of like, eh.
This is like, trying to think of the right way to say it, because this is like my kind of humor when I'm trying to be really stupid on purpose, like dad joke stupid. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, that's really stupid. Like not in a professional. I would have left that. again, it doesn't come across as a dad joke. It comes across as they're reaching and they're
It-
they're
Yes.
as they say, they're out kicking their coverage. They're in over their heads right here.
It looks like an intern did this. Like they have like some intern running their thing, and they just was like, "Oh my god, I'll write up like a thing," you know.
Oh no, I guarantee you Kim wrote that. Guaranteed. I'd be willing to bet a tremendous amount of money that Kim wrote that.
I will
That's
tell you, this page is active. I can tell you it's active. They're not posting things, but before they removed likes, they were liking things.
wow.
So there is someone watching.
Are they replying? You can see replies.
Nope.
Are there
No replies to anything. They haven't replied in a while. As I said, I have access to their entire, every single tweet that they've made. And I've been watching. They haven't posted anything since because they clearly know people are watching them.
Mhm.
But the last tweet they posted was about Unusual June, and then they retweeted something. And the last thing they responded to was somebody was commenting on like the Game Awards from 2023, and someone tagged them, and they responded with heart. Oh my god, no, it's definitely Kim. I didn't realize that.
It's 100% Kim. I guarantee you.
No, it's got an antelope. I'm pretty sure it's an antelope, like a deer, a little deer emoji. Oh my god, it's
Holy
totally
shit.
her. It's totally her.
Can you share it? Do you have it?
I have it right here. I can here, let me I have to give you have to give me a sec to convert it, but I have
Yeah,
it.
take your time. Take your time. In the meantime, we got some dumb boy with another 5. I literally cannot comprehend the thought of not wanting to buy a Wolverine game. I know. I know. All you got to do is look at Jean Grey and cry because it is going to be very interesting when that game eventually releases because it's already on my do not buy list, and that is so hard for me to say because I am a massive Wolverine fan, like massive. And the fact that I am already putting it on my do not buy list, some dumb guy, I feel you. I feel you, man. It sucks. Welcome to why I do what I do, so that I don't feel this way in the future. Thank you for the 5. And we got BC Cool the Wolf for 2. Why does the name Powell sound familiar? Jerome Powell?
Can I
I
mention,
eventually, we'll get into the Powell group tonight. Eventually.
yeah, can I mention one thing quickly? Because I thought it would be interesting.
Done.
Forgot to mention, you were saying how the Powell group is like a mom and pop shop thing.
Yeah.
But did you look at the LinkedIn of Jim Powell, the guy who's in charge of it? Because he's got a lot of people who recommend him on that page, like a lot. Like I'm talking like over almost 30 different people like on this page from like places like saying, I've worked with him for years, like literally like a whole section.
Interesting. No, I didn't even look at any of that.
So he's been, and it shows that he's been working at that company for almost 15 years. So he's definitely made a name for himself. He might is
You
the
said
Powell
Jim,
group.
it's Jay, right?
Jay, yeah, that's what I meant. Jay Powell. If you look up him up on, because I looked at this, I looked at who was one of the employees. Yeah, Jay, not Jim. Yep. I looked at the employees list. I forget names all the time. I'm terrible. But yeah, somebody. If you look at his LinkedIn page, you'll see he's got a lot of people who just like are like, I love Jim. He's the best. Look down at recommendations. Look at that.
27.
27. And it's just people, CEO of this company. I love Jim. He's the best. You know? So they clearly have some goodwill built up. I mean, whether or not
I don't know if it's necessarily goodwill. People that usually do the recommendations are the recommendations are I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine type thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person is great. It just means they're trying to help each other get ahead.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying, it feels to me like he's done some work. And by the way, I just shared the image that you were asking for.
It's
It's
still
just processing.
it's still
There you
the
go.
there it is. Now I see it. Okay.
That was the
Malone,
last thing they tweeted.
and a bunch of others at various points across the project. And of course, big thank you to our fearless leader, of course, Sam Lake. Jeez.
And you can
And
see CBB ink heart, deer, flashlight. Don't know why, but
I think it's because Alan Wake. I think there's a deer in it. Is there a deer in Alan Wake?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Sorry. See, that's my dad joke. I had to. We got Shinobi Ben
That was
for
a good
5.
one.
Thank you. Thank you. I tell my wife, she just roll her eyes and be like, God. Shinobi Ben for 5. Thank you for saving me money by outing these games and the companies behind it all. Much love from England. Also, Wukong Game of the Year. That's a thank you, Shinobi, by the way. TDS, while we're on the topic, do you have a game of the year this year? What's your game of the year?
Pal World. I know it might not be the best, but I'm sorry. It scratches a bunch of itches for me. I'm a huge person. I love survival games. I love those kind of open world survival games. And I also like Pokemon, but I find it a bit stale. So like a combination of like an open world survival with Pokemon, it just scratches so many itches for me. I just love playing it. It's so much fun.
I think that's actually a really good pick. My problem with Pal World is it came at the worst possible time in my life because it's the kind of game that I was begging for like a decade ago. And I'm like, I just kind of Pokemon just did me wrong so many times that I just fell out of love with the whole Pokemon stuff and I just stopped cold turkey. And I was just like, Pal World came out and I was just like, yeah, just nah. I don't know. Well, that's a good pick, though. It's a good pick. I'd say for me, probably Wukong. Probably Wukong. There's a lot of very, very good games that came out this year. As far as great games, it's so tough. I guess Wukong though. PD for 2. Sites like LinkedIn need to be removed. A big scam. I would not want that because for me, and I think TDS would agree, it's very beneficial for our research purposes. Would you?
Yes, but I will say that I think that they need to, because I don't know if you've heard about this, Smash. This is an interesting rabbit hole of its own. It's become like a dating site. Like there are people on there who like literally will message random people and try to like date them. Like it's a really weird thing because you don't think of LinkedIn like that, but this is a thing. It's an actual thing. They will actually like connect with people and be like, "Hey, do you want to come hang out?" And it'd be like, "This is LinkedIn. What are you doing?" Like,
I mean, it's times like these. I'm sure you'd agree. I'm glad we're married. Because
yep, it became like Facebook, is what people have told me about LinkedIn now. So,
dude, Facebook went so downhill. Like it's always been garbage, but my goodness, I can't even go on Facebook anymore. It's just such a waste of time. McKinney draws for another 5. Doing a final word on Concord tomorrow. You'll be tagged in it. You'll, as in me,
I think both
or
of us,
TDS?
maybe, or one of us, or either way.
I'll keep an eye out. Yeah, tag both of us.
McKinney does amazing artwork.
Oh yeah, no,
amazing.
I know. I watched them. They're very talented. Very talented.
Amazing.
Thank you for the 5, McKinney. Appreciate it. Total MK for 2. Do you guys have any info on Mortal Kombat 1, NRS, or NDEI? I mean, I did a video on Mortal Kombat 1. What? Oh,
what's NRS? I don't know.
NetherRealm Studios. NetherRealm Studios. I was like, NRS. I was thinking of a game. I'm like, Need for Speed.
Yeah,
no.
me too.
But yeah, that's NetherRealm. Yeah, the MK1 does have DEI in it. God, I can't remember what exactly it was, but I remember the video I made where I was like, yep, I'm not interested in this anymore. Oh, they turned Cyrax into a girl. And they also have Erika Ishii is Cyrax in it, which you might recall is the new protagonist in Ghost of Yotoi, which might still be a good game, you know, holding out hope because I really like Tsushima, and literally anything Tsushima was an auto buy for me, and then that all happened, and I'm just like,
I get why people are skeptical about it, and I totally agree with them.
Well, I mean, I was with you at the very beginning where I'm just like, because I saw that's how I kind of met Endymion was his initial post was like, "Oh, girl, it's woke, it's done," and I'm like, "Bro, we know nothing about it." And then I start researching, and I'm like, "Ah, shit, he's right."
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that makes a bunch of red flags, but like part of me still like okay, let's wait and see because the studio did a decent job, with the first game. So you kind of hope that even if they're doing this, maybe it's still a good game. Maybe I mean, it's possible to put this stuff in games and not ruin it. I mean, it has been done. So you kind of want to hope, but you kind of also, again, I always say people get mad at me. They'll be like, okay, you said to be cautious, to not say call Ghost of Yode woke or whatever. I don't care. You guys call it whatever you want. I personally don't think so. But you know what? I will always support if someone says, hey, I want to close my wallet. I'm skeptical. Be that way. Do it.
Yes,
We
your
need to
voice.
research. We need to look into this stuff. If you are skeptical and like, hey, I'm not doing this, I'm all for that.
And you know what kind of sucks on that point? Well, let me read this real quick. Shinobi Ben for 2. Thank you so much. Also, Silent Hill 2 was a fantastic remake. I've heard great things about it, and it is one of those that I was very skeptical at first about, and then I saw Hit Detection was working on it, and being part of DEI Detected just turned me off from it altogether because I just personal choice, I just don't want to support any companies that deal with that stuff, especially if it's a game that I'm like not going out of my way to play in the first place. Then I'm just like, why would I? If we lived in a world where there was not many choices, I would probably have a different perspective. But because there's so many games to play that I just don't need it. And I've already lost my train of thought of the other thing. What were we talking about? Oh, so like Alan Wake 2, for example, how that was like the big champion game from Sweet Baby Inc. that they did, back when that came out. I was a big fan of Alan Wake, the original, but I never completed it. I got about like halfway through, and it was right when my son was born, and it was like a really challenging time to focus on, a deep game when I'm like always being distracted with everything, and life was crazy back then. And I was always wanting to go back to it. And Alan Wake 2 was coming out, and I was like, okay, I got to get back to Alan Wake 1 because it was so awesome. And I never did. And then I found out about Remedy, Sam Lake, Alan Wake 2, and Sweet Baby Inc., and all these people, and Alyssa Mercante being. I was gonna say Alyssa Mercante in bed with all them, but that sounds really bad, so I'm not gonna say that.
You just kind of did, though.
I did, but I had to qualify it saying I'm not. I don't mean it like it sounds. It's the what do you call it? Double entendre. But the greater concern I have is now that I know all the information I know about it, I don't have the drive to go back to the original because I'm like, I don't want to like support the series. I don't want to be personally invested in the story to know I'm not going to play the second one. And it's like a really weird dynamic that's been created because of all this. And that's what really pisses me off is because of all this shit that's happening. I'm like, you guys are fucking everything up for everyone right now. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Any other comments before I move on?
We should probably get to any of the stuff we wanted to cover.
I know, dude. I'm sorry. Actually, I know you've been going forever. How much time do I have with you before you got to call it?
I'd say I have about a half hour before I should probably head out at that point because I do have work tomorrow.
Okay, so. let's skip the savvy thing. I'll come back to that after you got to go. Let's go to your chart and let's talk about that right now because that's what I wanted to really focus on with people, and I don't want to keep you all night. I genuinely appreciate you being here, man.
Of course. I'm glad you invited me.
Yeah, no, I'm having a blast too. This is great.
Let's see. Here we go. And I'll present it so we can. I realized, wow, you could present this.
Yeah.
Not have it be like a giant thing where I was clicking on everything and whatever. But yeah, this is I guess my magnum opus. I created a timeline that shows from 2011 to current day. The events that brought about.
First off, man, like bravo, by the way, because holy shit, this is incredible. This is incredible. Thank you for your work on this, because I know it's not easy.
I did my best, but it starts out. It basically catalogs all the events that influenced Sweet Baby Inc.'s creation and their connection to things, which is interesting. It also has, as you can see, these are all members of Sweet Baby Inc. right here. Literally, I have all of them and where they, how long they've been working for Sweet Baby Inc. If they worked other places. So Grant Roberts, that was the article we were talking about earlier. As you could see,
Wait, he's the one that was on The Gamer that doesn't work there anymore.
I don't know, but he's the one who was on The Gamer. Yeah, he's the one right there. You can see he doesn't work there. He worked there. He would work remotely. And you could see you could see what he did there. He says he worked with indies and A behemoths, leveraging 25 years of experience to help the company's process scale with its mentoring and learning. But he also was a lead writer at Rocksteady, and he was also a senior writer at Bungie at one point. So just an interesting thing because was mentioned. But I think the most important thing to look at here, and this is what's interesting. So I was mentioning that Sweet Baby Inc. had another podcast. This is it. This is the Watchtower podcast. It was done in 2012, and one of the members of Sweet Baby Inc., as you could see, Jeff and Ari had time. So Ari McGilvery was one of the people involved in this podcast, and it is archived. It is completely archived, which is interesting. But I believe all this started from here. If you could see, in 2011. Ari
2011?
Yeah.
I thought they started in 2016 or 2018.
That's when they were established, but I believe the roots for Sweet Baby Inc. Were established back in 2011, because as you see here, Ariana McGilvery started a job at Blind Ferret, which is a company, and look at who their clients are. Apple, Netflix, Nintendo, Sega, Team 17, Activision, Blizzard, Riot Games.
I see one of them. There it is.
Yeah, Disney, Ubisoft, Gameloft, all of them.
Ubisoft.
Okay?
Ubisoft, though.
Yes. Well, the Ubisoft connection is a big one, but the reason I think that this is where it started is because of this right here. In 2013, Ariana McGilvery and Kim Belair published a book together called Pure Steel. And it actually, as you could see, publisher Blind Ferret Entertainment in 2013. So Blind Ferret Entertainment.
What is it about? Do we have a
we read it? I think on our first stream together, we read it. I read the synopsis of what it said. Remember, it was like some sort of like, forget what the name of it was. I can look it up quickly if you want.
I got it here. Hold on a second. Oh. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Because my computer just said something disconnected.
Yeah, you can read it.
You ever have that with the USB where something disconnects and you're like, I don't know what device just disconnected?
Yeah, I have that sometimes.
It just happened. And I'm like, hello? Okay. When an aging treasure hunter goes missing in darkest Africa. What the fuck is darkest Africa? Is that like a slur on black people? What is darkest Africa? His daughter, Eleanor, recruits the world's greatest explorer to hunt him down. Set in 1910, Pure Steel is a story of a ramshackle. What? Who uses that word?
So they do. I will say, apparently, this book is out of print, but I believe that someone in our Discord, one of our mods, the Proctophile, I believe he was able to get a copy of it. I think he said in our stream. So if he gets one, I told him if he sends it to me, I'll do a dramatic reading.
I heard your voices. You had some good range, really good range on your voices.
Thanks. I try. I do pretty good Mickey. That's a decent one.
Let's hear it. Let's go. Everyone wants it. Let's go.
I'm Mickey Mouse. Smash! Don't you know better?
That's actually really good. I thought it was going to be
Smash. Don't you know about Alyssa's going to be watching? And when she watches this show, it's going to be a bad thing.
That's amazing.
Yep. No voice changer for that. Just did it.
Dude, you got a talent. That is like really good. Like seriously, that's really good. Wow. I mean, I I just found out the flashlight on my phone's been on this whole time. Cool. Um, that was really good though.
Thanks.
But anyway, Pure Steel is a story of a ram. What the fuck is ramshackle?
It's like a thrown together thing. That's what I think what ramshackle means.
Okay. Why don't they use the word clusterfuck?
This is back in 2013. They didn't use the words there.
I've been using clusterfuck since like 2001. It's a story of a ramshackle expedition into the heart of the dark. What is it with this? The darkest Africa? The dark continent? What? Help me with this. Help me.
I have no idea.
Told in its own words, part satire, what? Part loving homage to pulp adventure. Pure Steel is an illustrated romp that brilliantly captures the spirit of the era with the winking wit of the modern day. The fuck did I
You can see, look, it's written by, it says right there, authored and illustrated by our illustrated. Is it pictures in it?
Oh yeah, because right here, read this. Read that part right there. Pure
No,
Steel.
but that means who illustrated it?
I don't know. Well, maybe Kimberly.
Did they illustrate it? Oh my god, we have to get this. This is like
Pure Steel book. I wonder if there's any images of it opened up.
probably not.
It's all going to
hard. It was hard to find.
I knew I'd get Danielle Steele here. I knew that was going to happen. It was hard.
It's out of print. It's been out of print for ages, from what I recall.
We got
a page. Yeah, I didn't find any image. That's why I was surprised to hear it was
illustrated. This is an image.
I can barely see it.
All right, here we go. We got.
I'm half expecting like a drawing.
Holy shit! A society for lady adventurers. Yeah. Oh shit! You can't see this. Watch this. A society for lady adventurers.
No way.
She's a fucking feminist.
Oh my god, we have to get this. It's out of print. Look, out of print. Somebody needs to get this and either send it to me or smash it. We need to go over this. This is hilarious.
Limited availability. Oh shit. Someone's gonna have it.
I think the Proctophile said he had a link to one and he was gonna get it. I don't know if he's gonna send it to me. I told him if he did, I'd read it, but we need to find this.
I have to get this. Were you to tell me 10 years ago that there would exist an assembly of adventurous women who would meet regularly to discuss their daring exploits, I would call you a fool and a liar. And yet, here I sit, writing about the decennial of a group dedicated and created by those very women. The Ladies Adventure Society was founded. She's a feminist, dude. Who writes this if you're not a feminist?
Both of them wrote it. This is a collaboration. This is the first collaboration that I could find of Kim Belair and Ariane McGilvery. And it was published by Blind Ferret Entertainment, which, by the way, if you look up, Blind Ferret Entertainment publishes quite a lot of stuff. They never published anything else like this. And it even mentions on their site this is the first foray into this. So they must have pulled some strings to get this to happen.
Let me read this next line. The Ladies Adventure Society was founded in London by a collection of like-minded women. Like-minded women. Interesting. And quickly spread like a virus to all corners of the globe. I am told that there are members from as far away as the Dominion of Canada, of course, Canada, the British Indian Empire, and the former penal colony of Australia. The ladies will be meeting this autumn in Cairo, Egypt, for their yearly summit, during which a new leader will be crowned. I am told that their honor will fall to Miss Savannah Jones of Savannah, Georgia, in the Americas. The summit will see hundreds of the card-carrying members congregate for 2 weeks of discussions, lectures, and perhaps even an adventure or two. I have met several of the ladies at various lectures here and there and wish them nothing but the best for their well-earned celebration. Who puts those words together?
There's apparently a copy on eBay, according to the chat.
How much?
I don't know.
I'll have to check.
Oh God.
It's
Let's
literally it's a book based on feminism. It's
yeah,
literally
but it's the first the key point about this is it leads to a bunch of other things. And keep in mind, this company is literally it's $30 on eBay, apparently.
I might buy that if someone else doesn't.
If you buy it, you have to have me on to talk about it. Come on.
Oh my! I definitely would. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Of course,
I mean,
because then I can add voices to it.
I can be Kim Belair.
That's a live stream in itself. Hold on a second. Don't buy anyone in the chat. Don't buy it first. Hold on. Someone's gonna buy it before I do. Hold on.
You should take a picture of yourself like holding it and like post it and be like at Kim
tag
Belair.
Kim
Hey, got your book.
Tag Kim even though I'm blocked.
She hasn't blocked me. I'll tag her.
I can't believe she blocked me.
I'm not surprised.
Hold on a second. It's making me. I can't. I genuinely cannot believe this. This is crazy.
But yeah, that was the thing that I found that led to open the can of worms to find a bunch of other things that they clearly don't want people to know. But if anybody wants to know the kind of the details, it's basically there's a very, 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 very clear Ubisoft connection, and it looks really, really, really like specific.
This is the things I do for the chat. You guys donate the money to me. I don't have a problem buying it right away. I just bought it. It's coming to me. I got it.
You bought it?
I bought it.
Oh my God, we have to do a stream about it then.
I had to. Should be here. It says in 2 to 4, or ships in 2 to 4 days. It'll be here by, oh no, it says November 6th to November 8th. So yeah, I will I'll definitely.
You gotta post it, and you gotta post a picture of your holy, be like, I got Kim Belair's book.
I got Kim Belair's book. This is gonna be great.
Awesome.
Juice, look at what you said. The reviews say they don't know how to write at all, which makes sense because look at the games.
Wait, did the reviews actually say that?
I don't know. I gotta look.
2 ratings. What does it say? What does it say?
Oh no, buy this book. But this review was from definitely not a fake name, Tim Adams. And not a verified purchase either, by the way. As readers, we desire excitement, and Pure Steel delivers. The whimsical prose of the... What the fuck? Did you have ChatGPT write this, bro? This isn't even a real review.
Wait, wait. The review is from 2015. The book was released 2013.
So there are no reviews.
Why are reviews from like years and years later?
That is pretty wild, actually. Yeah.
It's like nobody read it. Nobody cared. Oh, you know what? I guarantee there are people that Kim told about the book. I guarantee.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Only way they would find it.
Kim Belair wrote that. I mean, honestly, I would put money on it that she did because this is something that she would say.
Or she hired someone to do it for her. Like, hey, intern, while you have free time today, please write a review for this book. Why, Kim? Just do it.
Well, secondly, you're right. But secondly, Tim Adams, that's a dude's name. This is a book about feminism. What kind of dude would buy? Well, unless he's a cuck.
I'm curious. Can we click on his profile? Did he review anything else?
What the fuck is this?
Pure Steel.
Hold on. Comfy brace for his tendonitis. All right.
Okay, I could believe he's a real person. Seems
Read this
odd to
book.
review 3 things and never again.
Read this book. It's a metaphysical carpet ride that'll take you across the galaxy.
What book? What book?
This one.
A book that doesn't exist.
It's called A Traveler by Gavin Latham. We need like a whole what do you call
We
it?
have to leave the rabbit hole. Chat saying, leave the rabbit hole.
No. I just need to find out if this guy is connected to Kim Belair, and then I'll leave the rabbit hole. I promise.
What's his name?
Tim
Adams.
No, not Tim Adams. Gavin Latham.
There's 2 other books by Kim, says somebody.
Seriously?
Just by Kim or just by Ariane McGilvery?
So this is the dude that wrote the book that the other guy reviewed. And if this guy knows Kim Belair, then you know that guy, Tim, that reviewed it was a plant. And they're all buddies. A nameless young man travels the world, trodden by a seemingly inescapable... And what the fuck is it? What is this?
It sounds like the same kind of thing.
It does. He passes through Beirut.
Who published it?
Oh, good point. I don't know.
It says first published. When was it published? I would bet money it's Blind Ferret.
I thought you said Blind Ferret only did one, and that was Kim Belair's.
It seemed like they only did one, but it's possible they did another book. But it seems like they did a lot more comics.
What's it called?
I looked. I didn't see
thing.
anything.
Did you hear about how Kim Belair self-inserted herself into a bunch of comics?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
No, there's nothing for Blind Ferret. Okay, I'll hop out of the rabbit hole. Let me go back to your chart here because I know we're running short on time for you. So,
but I was saying,
sorry.
So
by the way, real quick, that was hysterical how you showed one image. We just had like a sidebar of like 12 minutes of talking about it.
It's funny.
And I ended up buying the book from this. Go on.
It's so cool. We gotta have a dramatic reading. But so here's the interesting part, though. So see, this happened in 2013, Blind Ferret. Now, interestingly, Gamergate, the first Gamergate, happened in 2014, right? And as you can see, Zoe Quinn, Brianna Wu, Anita Sarkeesian, Feminist Frequency, and then Weird Ghost. Weird Ghost is a name that actually comes up a lot when you look up Sleep Baby Inc. because they're funding Sleep Baby Inc. They're one of the people who fund them.
Where does the funding come to Baby?
So I'll get to that. I'll get to that. That's the part, whatever. But you see here, Sexiest Podcast, WrestleGamia, Watchtower Podcast. That's 3 podcasts, right? I went and I found every single podcast episode and mapped every single person who came onto the show who had some kind of following in the gaming industry, and every single one of them linked up to one location.
Ubisoft, right here. Wow.
See all these pink lines, every single one of those pink lines is someone. The pink means it's from the Sexiest Podcast. Every single pink line there means that they worked at Ubisoft at some point. So literally we can see that there's a huge Ubisoft connection. I believe it started here. Oh, I never added that. I probably should. I just don't want to make fun of Kim. I feel like I make too much fun of her. There's one more thing I know about her, but I feel like it's mean to talk about because she was very young. Did you know she's a puppeteer?
I did not.
Well, she was
a puppeteer.
Yes, there's a video of her doing puppeteer work. I have it. I found it on some random YouTube site. Don't ask. I find everything. But
this is by the way.
I know it's her. I know it's her.
Real quick. By the way, Kim, I know you're watching. This is what happens when you're in the public eye and you start doing things that are not socially admirable. People start looking. Okay, that's just what happens. But go on.
And you shouldn't post about it on Facebook on Ariane McGilvery's page and then respond to it. It kind of makes it look. It makes it valid, so it makes me want to look at it. So, but people are asking why Team 17. This is Blind Ferret Entertainment. They compete with all these people, so they're just there to show that they connected to Blind Ferret. I don't have any connections to them to Sweet Baby Inc., but I do believe that that's how they got the Ubisoft connection. But here's where it gets interesting. So, in the end of 2018,
hold on. It wasn't interesting before.
Well, it gets more interesting here. In 2018, late 2018, Blind Ferret Entertainment changed their name. It became Laughing Dragon Studios. And Laughing Dragon Studios, as you could see, is an animation studio that worked for Death Battle. What is Death Battle? Death Battle is a YouTube channel. Okay. Interestingly, formerly produced by Rooster Teeth and hosted on the Death Battle YouTube channel, formerly known as Screw Attack.
That's a Screw Attack logo. Does Stuttering Craig know about this?
He does. He
Have you
thinks it's
talked to him about it?
Yes. And I don't know if I can say. I'll be telling people I'm going on with him tomorrow to talk about it.
Oh, nice.
So
look at you, man, making the rounds on all the big shows. This is great.
I've been on Side Scrolls before, just like a couple times. But
I know.
Yeah, this is interesting because it kind of, again, it's not Craig's not the mastermind. Craig doesn't like Bowser.
No,
Don't worry.
I know Craig very well. Like, I've met him in person. We did a podcast at San Diego Comic-Con. I've been on Screw Track a bunch of times. I text with him all the time. Like, he is a down-to-earth, really good dude.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice
guy.
I
have no concerns of him being involved in any of this.
Me neither. Trust me, I wouldn't have told him if I thought, but I think it's funny.
Right.
But here is the interesting part, okay? People know that the what's it called? The weird ghost connection to CBAB Inc., but you don't know how connected they are. Okay? Look here. 11 months ago, we got this post. Today, we celebrate 7 studios joining cohort 3 of Baby Ghost, which is a subsidiary of Weird Ghost. And what do we notice right in the middle here? But wait, okay? When did this happen? Look, Gamergate 2 started here, beginning of 2024. They joined Baby Ghost a couple months before Gamergate 2 became a thing. Think about it. So they got funded by a company that was involved and was made in response to Gamergate 1 a couple months prior to them being the people who completely started Gamergate 2. Tell me that's not an interesting coincidence.
Oh no, it's definitely more than a coincidence.
Wait, Smash, one of your friends commented about this. One of your little buddies.
Who? Oh, Chris? Yeah. Glad to be a part of this cohort. How about that?
Chris has got some interesting references too, but he seems like I think he worked for a couple other places. But as you can see here, I have every single Sweet Baby Inc. person here. And this is the bartender guy I told you about. But here's the interesting one. There's another person who was on the show, as you can see here. And Savvy mentioned this, but you can see Sexiest Dog Cartoon with Sean Hannigan. Who's Sean Hannigan? Kim Blair's brother.
Well, you said, see, it's Sean. That's Sean.
Sean Hannigan, yes. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I'm tired.
No, that's fine.
For some reason, my brain reads it that way. But you can see.
Wait, hold on. Why do they have different last names? Because Kim Blair's not married. How do you know they're brother sister if they have different last names? Are they
because don't ask me. Don't ask me. You can read the podcast description. I'm sorry. I'm not used to this program, guys. So if I'm moving around like a little sporadic.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Scroll down though. Yeah, that one.
But very special guest with Kim's own brother, Sean Hannigan.
I wonder if it's like her half brother or something, because
it might be.
She's never been married, and he's
been working for Sweet Baby Inc. for 5 years.
Wait, he works at Sweet Baby Inc.?
Correct. He works there. You can see right here. And he used to work at Warner Brothers for a year, which is interesting. But as you can see, I've mapped every single person and where they work. And we've also now been able to identify some of the names on her things. So Jake Kent is one of the 12. And he actually worked for Tribute Games for a couple years, for 3 years. And then he worked for Sweet Baby Inc. afterwards. So a lot of them have prior history.
Have you
And
ever looked up what's her brother's last name?
Hannigan? No.
Kim. What? How do you spell it? Hennigan.
Kim Hannigan. Here, let me.
Henn.
I'll get it. Hold on. Sorry, just not used to these controls. There you go.
Hennigan. I just wonder if if it's like a stage name or a fake last name.
I don't know. I don't know much about him. I only know he was mentioned on the podcast and he does work for Sweet Baby Inc. But what's really cool, what's really interesting, there are some people who made like articles about Sweet Baby Inc. and then later I think ended up working for them. I'm pretty sure What'd you say?
I said, "Oh, really? That's fascinating."
Yeah, I believe so. I think here, but look, see, Sweet Baby Inc. part-time, and then now she's a associate narrative designer at Cliffhanger Games. And Cliffhanger Games, I'm pretty sure, is one of the games that the Powell Group is involved with. I'm not 100% sure on that. But you can see Goodbye Volcano High. Again, not all these people are still working for Sweet Baby Inc. But if they did work for them, I found them. So it's got every single person who I could find publicly who works for Sweet Baby Inc. And the thing is, it all started here. I'm pretty sure Blind Ferret gave them the Ubisoft connection, and they made their book and everything, and then they got their podcast. And how did they get all these people from Ubisoft? Easy. They had the Ubisoft connection. So that's where they got them from. That's my theory anyway.
And that's just a game theory. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm on board with it.
Well, because look, if you look down here, Director of Communications, PR, and Customer Service. So she oversees all social media for Blind Ferret.
Interesting.
Edit content, write copy, read comics. So
and who's this?
It would be.
Scroll up. Who's this?
This is Ariadne McGilvery. She's no longer at Sweet Baby Inc., but she was one of the co-founders, as you could see. Right.
Oh, whoa. Do you see where else? The other name?
Where?
Scroll down. Not Phoenix Labs. See that right there? Nope. Up. Reflector. You know what Reflector is? They're the company that made Unknown 9.
Yep, and there's a lot of connections to Reflector, and I can tell you that Kim Belair is credited with Unknown 9. Narrative director for Unknown 9.
Like, all these people are so intertwined with all this.
Yeah, but look, see? Kim Belair, and you can see she narrative direction for Unknown 9 right there.
Wow. And
also there's this game, which is interesting because this game came out, it was on Steam, and it's been removed from all platforms.
It's been removed?
Yep, you can no longer buy it. It's called The Last Nightmare. Last Year, The Nightmare. It's an interesting game because she actually did an interview for this, and in the interview, the first question, she mentions Sweet Baby Inc. So you can look up The Last Nightmare, Sweet Baby Inc., and you'll find it. Or just look up The Last Nightmare, Kim Belair, you'll find it there.
Why? Did we know why they took it down?
Apparently it was a broken mess, and that they tried to make it like it was supposed to be the next Dead by Daylight, and it didn't work. And it was a mess, and by the time they tried to fix it, it was too late.
It was called Last Year.
It's called The Last Year, The Nightmare.
And it doesn't even show up on the Steam store anymore.
Yeah, you can find it if you look hard enough. I found it, and I was able to show Cabrutus. But yeah, here we go. Here, I got it.
Okay.
Here's the interview.
You need to share the screen. I don't see.
No, I'm gonna just send you a link in the private chat.
Oh, okay. And
I don't know if I can share both screens at the same time. I don't know if we'll let. There you go.
Got it. Okay, give me a second.
And you can see if you read it, the first thing is an interview in The Last Nightmare by Kim Belair, and you can see, rely on horror. How long have you been in the industry? If you scroll down a little bit, the first question How long have you been in the industry? Kim Miller. I've been in the industry just under 6 years. I started out at Ubisoft and have gone freelance and founded a narrative development company, Sweet Baby Inc., with 2 colleagues, Ariadne McGilvery and David Bernard. So,
Wow. Man, this never ends. So this looks fine.
it doesn't work. It was a buggy, unusable mess.
And they
According to
released
what,
it,
according to
and they released it and sold it anyways.
no, it worked okay at first, but then it stopped.
Was it like an online live game that just wasn't functioning because the servers?
I don't know. I don't know. There's not enough information on it. I didn't look into it that deep, but it
Doesn't look bad like this.
It doesn't look bad, and apparently it was mostly finished before Kim Belair came onto it. She was supposed to like polish it, I think, from what I remember reading. But it's you can't find it on Steam anymore. Actually, you can. Never mind. Hold on. You can find it on Steam. I can find a link to it right now. Here we go. Because the trailer for it still exists, and if you go to the trailer, here I'll give you the link to the game on Steam. It says it's not no longer available for to buy, but there it is.
All right, let's bring it up. Let's listen. Is that the audio, by the way? Is it super loud or is it fine?
Play it again. It's pretty quiet.
It's pretty quiet.
A little quiet. I don't know if it's.
I'll max it out. All right, ready?
Last Year is an asymmetrical multiplayer horror game where one killer has to hunt down a group of teenagers. I'm playing as the Slasher, one of 3 playable killers that ships with the game. The game is set on Halloween night in 1996. We've been meticulously crafting the...
Just gonna pause it real quick. The person narrating it is like nervous and not professional at all, and it feels like they're just reading from a piece of paper. It's weird because it feels like a lot of work went into making the game look awesome, and then it's like this hack job of a trailer. You notice that too?
Yeah, I do. I'm looking at the reviews too.
Oh, I'm gonna check those after this, but yeah.
Asymmetrical multiplayer. Yeah, people are saying it got obnoxious execution, and apparently it just stopped launching.
It just stopped launching?
This is the old Discord build of the game, ported to Steam and allegedly given a balanced patch and improvements. This still lacks many new features and fixes the regular, all known as After Dark version of Last Year on Steam has. Oh, so the Last Year After Dark, is that it? That should be on Steam still. Yeah,
I saw that when I was looking for it.
Well, that's the actual game. That's the polished version of the game, apparently.
Okay.
That's what someone's saying in the reviews here. They're saying
multiplayer horror game where one killer has to hunt down a group of teenagers. I'm playing as the Slasher, one of 3 playable killers that ships with the game. It's a horror film. Survivors can actually fight back with weapons. So being the killer means you need to be smart and creative with how you attack your victims. One of the best ways to do this is with Predator mode. This lets the killer unspawn and turn invisible at any time. The killer can then move extremely fast, completely invisible to the other players, and use this to plan the perfect ambush.
Not gonna lie, that seems like a pretty cool idea.
It does seem like a cool game. I think that I think that she was, again, most of it was people in the comments were saying in the chat were saying that some of them have played it. And it was pretty good, but apparently this version just doesn't run.
Man.
Or toy with the survivors.
It's just wild to me that a game can get this far in development all the way to being launched and then just kind of being left for dead. No pun intended.
It says it's also a 2-year-old game that got re-released. The developers gave up and no longer support this game. The servers are dead and empty. It's online, multiplayer only, so you'll be wandering empty halls. Can't even get a refund because I didn't know the game was abandoned at purchase. Waited too long to try to get a refund. It was a fun game when I played the original Discord release, but it had died hard.
So it'd be a fun game, like if you had a group of people, like with YouTube, to get together and all buy it and all play it together.
Well, unfortunately, if you go to look, try to go buy it.
Right, it's just not
No longer available.
But you said that the other one is available.
It could be. I didn't check. I didn't look at the reviews. I was spending more time making connections than I was looking at specific things because, as I said, this
free to play and then there's a sequel.
This thing took me like the chart that I made like 3 days to make.
Oh yeah, dude, it looks like it took 3 days to make or more. It kind of reminds me of like the Friday the 13th game that came out a couple of years ago. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. But...
The Popo says Predator mode chasing a group of teenagers. SBI, are you trying to tell us something?
That's great. But I guess because I know it's getting late for you, did you want to bring up your map one more time real quick?
Yeah, I'll bring it up one more time just to end it off with a because I do have to go soon.
Yeah.
Still there, I think. Oh, there. Yeah. But yeah, I have all them here.
I saw that. I was like, this is your LinkedIn page. I was like, oh wait, no.
Nope. Don't worry. It's not my LinkedIn page. I'm very careful with this kind of stuff.
I meant a LinkedIn page. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, I mapped everything here, all the members, but the thing I think is the weirdest is the Baby Ghost connection happening a couple months before the thing with Chris Kindred, and the fact that they look. This is gonna get into conspiracy theory territory. Okay, just to make clear.
We're there already.
No, well, this is mostly facts. Most of the stuff that I have here is factual. I don't have a clear connection to Blind Ferret, but I think it's pretty clear that that's where they first got involved with Ubisoft, at least to some degree. But here's where it gets into conspiracy theory territory. I find it very strange that this happened so close together. And the fact that they fired Chris Kindred, which again, he will still say alleged rumor. The source I have, trust me, it happened. And basically, I find it very strange that it happened so close together. It just doesn't look normal to me. So you're going to tell me this company got funding from a place that started Gamergate 1 a couple months before Gamergate 2? I'm not saying they started Gamergate 2 on purpose, but it's weird. It's a very strange thing, especially since, you see Chris Kindred right here commenting about it. So glad to be part of this, Well,
my research with Weird Ghosts and the subsequent Baby Ghosts is very foggy. Like who subsidizes them? Is it government funding or like
I don't know. What I know
investors.
What I know is that Weird Ghost was one of the companies that came out of what happened at Gamergate 1. So,
but people always say like it came out of it, but a company just doesn't happen. Like, where's the money come from to create it? Like, and to fund other projects with it. Like, where's the money coming from?
I'm pretty sure, from what I remember people saying, is that it came from, unfortunately, the poor unfortunate soul who passed away. Because of Gabriel Alex Hawaka. It's so terrible that he passed away. He committed suicide.
Right. Was that the one that was related to the whole Zoe Quinn situation?
Yeah. He created a really great game called Night of the Woods. It was a really one-of-a-kind game. Not everybody's taste, mind you, but good game. But yeah, There's some interesting connections which I'm still looking into. I want to quickly touch on those quickly.
Mhm.
For here, you can see the Watchtower podcast. It leads to Donnie Coulter, who is a radio producer, and he actually used to work for News Talk. But it leads down. If I look, he's not that interesting, but Jeff Moss, the other person who worked with him right here, as you can see, Jeff Moss. He is an interesting one. It leads to a bunch of things, including there's connections to, and I don't suggest people look this up. There is a thing that's called naked news. It's pretty much pornography.
Why do these people always devolve to something sexual and nudity?
Well,
like every time.
I can tell you that this guy has a channel where he has clips uploaded of this kind of stuff, and the channel is very strange because you'll see a video that has like 30-something thousand views and 12 likes, and it's just really, really weird. Like, it's really weird.
God.
But I'm trying to see. I mean, before I go, let me see if I have that. That I have. I feel bad. No, I feel bad. I feel bad showing you guys a like 11-year-old Kim Belair doing puppetry. It just feels mean.
Like 11 years ago, or she's 11
No,
years old?
like 11-year-old Kim Belair.
No, you don't need to show that. It's whatever.
You don't see her. You just see her puppets. But I know it's her. But it's weird. It's on this random
I mean,
channel.
I guess what I'm saying is I wouldn't hold that. I mean, my son's 11.
No,
like whatever he does now.
Me neither. I just thought it was interesting that it showed up. I'm like, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But she also, Kim Belair wrote for the company. I think that's the other company the Powell Group runs, the indie business dev. She wrote for them a couple times. There's some interesting articles by her.
But back to your point you were saying earlier about how you found some people were employed at Sweet Baby Inc. that coincidentally were writing.
Yeah, there were a couple. I made this list particularly about their connections to the gaming industry. But if you go look up a lot of these people, some of them will say they worked for The Verge, they worked for this company or that company. I believe there's one here. Louisiana Alto. I'm pretty sure she wrote an article. I don't remember exactly, but I know that she's a more recent hire, I think. No, she's not a more recent hire. I forget. There was one of them. I know for a fact that there was one of them. I apologize. It's late and I'm not remembering exactly, but I know for a fact that there was one of them who wrote an article and was like hired by Sweet Baby Inc. like not long after that.
Well, let me hold on a second. I just found something here that I found interesting. Give me a second. You ever heard of Inclusion FX?
Somewhat.
Okay, here. This is her.
Hi, I'm Louisa Atto. I'm a creative writer, all-around creative writer. I write books, young adult books mostly, and then I also write video games as well. I work with a company called Sweet Baby Inc. My first book came out in February 2021, and my second book is coming out this summer.
Yes.
Started writing video games, and it's been a lot of fun. We're doing a lot of
What she is.
projects, and it's been a very cool learning experience. I've been into games since I was a kid. I originally kind of got very interested with Final Fantasy VII, which was the first role-playing game, the first RPG I played. And RPGs now are like my favorite genre, so that's probably why.
I mean, she doesn't strike me as odd. Nothing about her so far. I'm just like, oh, there's something off about her. She seems pretty down to earth.
Yeah, I will say I'm holding my phone now. CPB Inc. posted about her. There was a Q&A done about her. How do you handle feedback? Feedback is usually taken and incorporated when you're real clear on the integrity and intention behind your story, because every story does have infinite possibilities, but only some of those possibilities will be right for your story. Louisiana Alto, writing and narrative designer.
Okay.
And Final Fantasy is my favorite franchise, I guess, as a result of that as well. But what I really liked about that game in particular is that it taught me a lot about narrative and how to tell a story, the different elements you use to tell a story, and also just like how important character is. So I guess from then until now, like I've always been interested in video games and writing games. And I think just in general, with my love of stories, because I think it, like being both a young adult writer and a games writer, I just really enjoy how stories connect people, and how we can really just learn empathy, I think, first and foremost from telling stories. I feel like I'm inspired by
Okay, yeah, this is pretty general stuff. Nothing too wild.
I'll have to look more into these people, but I know for a fact that there's one or two of them that wrote articles and were part of Sleep Baby Inc. I know there was at least one. I forget which name. I feel like it might have been this one.
What's her last name?
I don't know. She's clearly done the setting. She clearly knows that people are watching because she's done the setting where you could change it so no one could see your last name unless you're connected with them.
Yeah, but it's not too hard. It's the internet. That's Danny Lowlanders. Wait,
Yeah,
she worked for Sweet Baby Inc.
Yeah, they love that. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that was on your Kotaku Detected thing, right?
Wait, she worked for Sweet Baby Inc. She's the one that said she's the one that said she wouldn't work with white people because they made her feel uncomfortable. She works.
Well, she worked for them for 8 months.
Dude, what?
Yep.
That's.
She now is is associate narrative director at Cliffhanger.
Yeah, right here, Cliffhanger EA.
But she was a Sweet Baby Inc. employee for 8 months, remote.
States she will not hire white people because it's hard to
work
with them.
That's her. See, I told you there was one who wrote something, whatever. That's her. But she worked for Sweet Baby Inc. Surprise, surprise. Isn't that interesting?
I can't. This is the other thing. Going back to like the whole BioWare situation with Dragon Age and my contact that told me about what's going on in the studio internally and how bad it is. This is proof that the issue in the game industry is running rampant. Like if this comes out and you're head of a game studio, you fire that person. That's not like a reprimanding. It's not like a write-up. It's no, you do not represent our company saying this kind of shit. Goodbye. There's the door. Like not even a question asked. And she can try to sue and it's racial discrimination. But what she said, like on video, I don't know if they still have the video up of her saying it. But the video of her, this is the video.
Oh,
my next concept is team. Who is your team? A little background about this. I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team for indie games. But who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me.
Who says that on camera and thinks it's totally normal? Like that is psycho behavior.
It wouldn't. You see these people post these kind of say these things like do sexiest podcast, whatever. It doesn't really surprise me that these people say things like this. They don't seem to think it's wrong to say them.
Well, because they've been taught by society that they are allowed to be racist against anyone but them. It's they're the oppressed ones. And it's like, that's just their brain is telling them, no, that's how it is. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you can't be racist to white people? Like,
and I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying.
So she follows up saying, I will not hire white people because I want a safe environment, with saying, I'm not saying white people make it feel like the environment is unsafe. I feel like those two things really contradict each other.
Yep.
Yeah. But I know it's been a long night for you, man. You've done back-to-back streams. I don't want to keep you any longer than
Yeah,
I have.
I just said I have to head out because it's getting late, and I do have work tomorrow, and I have to also. I'm going to be on with side scrollers, I think, in the morning, and then
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to be editing a video later, and then driving, and yeah, busy.
Well, let me share your channel in the chat again, and plus, if you guys miss it, it's also in the description below. But yeah, do your outro. Tell people like about you and what you do on your channel, when they can look for stuff, and if you have anything coming out in the future. And I can't thank you enough. You've been epic, dude. This was an awesome stream. So have at it.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at MasteroftheTDS. You can also find me on Instagram at MasteroftheTDS. I don't post a lot there. I usually just post our videos and stuff there. So because YouTube doesn't like notifying people, so it's easy to find those there. We do. My wife and I run a channel, Gothic Therapy. We do a show called Psycho Synopsis, where we summarize the Psycho every Sunday. That's the show I actually was on before we came here. Then we usually make videos out of that. Is there anything coming up? I'm going to be making a video, hopefully tomorrow at some point, on what's it called? I'm going to be taking the stuff we went over in our show about the map, but I'm going to be taking it and kind of putting it into a video for people to look at separately, so they don't have to go through the stream. But yeah, someone asked if I'm on like Rumble. We're on Odyssey as well. We're not on Rumble. We had a little bit of a problem with Rumble settings and stuff like that, so it was just easier not to be on there for now, but at some point. And you can also find my wife, my other half, Writing Raven 2. She's on Twitter as well. And I wouldn't be able to do any of the stuff that I do without her, because literally, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even come back to YouTube. So.
But I mean, the chat is loving you, man. They're saying just come back, even if you're bored or just want to hang. They just loved having you on here. You were great. So genuinely appreciate.
Thank you guys. I'm glad I was able to be here.
That map is epic, by the way. I feel like you only scratched the surface about how much effort and work you put into that. I feel like
God, it was so much.
I could imagine. I feel like we're really onto something, and it's all thanks to your hard work, and we all genuinely appreciate it. And on that note, we'll let you go, man. And thank you so much again for coming.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, and let me know when you get that book. We have to dissect that next.
You know, I will tag you on Twitter once I get it for sure, and we'll talk about it.
All right. Thanks everybody for having me, and I'll see you guys again soon.
Right. Later, man. And then there was one. Okay, so I don't want to just end the stream though. We had some donations come through and super chats. Let me catch up to where I was here. Hold on a second. This has been an epic stream, by the way. Epic stream. This is where I left off. Reval Arvida for 2. Waiting for Vindictus. Defying fate. Hashtag Nexon. You know, fun fact, Nexon was one of the companies that I recruited for when I was a recruiter a lifetime ago. But cool. I've never heard about that game. Thank you for the 2. Some dumb goy for 2. So TDS is a programmer. I mean, he's a very skilled person in a number of ways that continues to surprise me. Adair Soto for 2. Jesus Christ, you've been working, my man. Nice. Yeah, he really was crushing it with that. Adair Soto again for 2. This Lord story is getting bigger and bigger. Yes, it's the never-ending rabbit hole. Some of them going for 2. TDS, please start. And by the way, sorry, I wanted TDS to see some of these, but I know I kept him way too late, guys. So I had to let him go. He had a long stream before starting this one, so this was a long night for him. Start making game stories. It'd be fun if we could do that. Some of them going for 2. It's Africa, but after hours. Oh, is that relating to Belair's book, the dark Africa? Who even says that? What a weird thing to say. Ash Archer for 2. Do Donald Duck. Oh, well, I mean, he did do it. He didn't do it again. Sorry. Should have been here for that. Hiroshima for 2. The darkest story. We'll find out when the book gets here. Adair Soto for 2. It proves they're not gamers at all. No, I mean, we all knew that, but for sure. Hypnotic Rapture for 2. Darkest Africa refers to unexplored and no vaccines. I don't know if you're joking or not. Sometimes I'm going for another 2. Smash you, dick. How dare you make me buy this book? Wait, did you buy it too? Or did I get it before you could? Adair Soto for 2. We always said that we always said this. They sleep together in Discord. Oh, they definitely do. They have their own private Discords and chat it all up about all of us. So some of them going another 2. TDS, stop looking at my search history. I love Scotch for 2. Thank you, Master TDS, for digging. Yes, and TDS, if you're still watching, man, thank you. Like, genuinely thank you. That was epic tonight. Adair Soto for 2. The game was good, actually. It was pretty fun. Oh, you played it? That's the crazy thing I've noticed. Like, these no-name games I've never heard of. Every time I talk about them, there's always somebody in the chat that's like, oh, yeah, I played that. Like, how? How does that? There's like infinite amount of games, and there's always people that have played them. It's awesome. Some of them going for 2. TDS, has the CIA ever reached out to you for a job? I'm going to guess an answer for them that they have not yet, but after watching this stream, they just might. Hire TDS and Madam Savvy because they both do the work. The Deep Fryer for 5. The fact that everything has been kept so secretive about their intertwined companies is a really big red flag. They're doing something illegal. I don't know if it's quote unquote like illegal. Like, yes, the hiring practices are definitely something super sketchy, but it's like out of country. I don't know what Canadian laws are. And it's just, I feel like they're a bigger fish to fry, which is why no one really cares and they're able to get around it. Some of them going for another 2. Yep. Checks they added Predator mode. Oh, in that game. Yeah. It looked fun. Not going to lie. Spitfire Z for 5. Is the mural board available for the public to look at or nah? I'd love to pour over this myself. It is not yet, but I'll ask them on Twitter because that would be amazing to go through that and have that just for research. I wish I asked him when he was here. Next time I talk to him, I'll ask him though. Some I'm going for 2. Remember, only the chuds are wrong. Yes, we're always wrong. Kiam89 for the 10. Smash, there is a free-to-play last year on Steam from Undaunted Games. Wikipedia says they worked together with Elastic Games on that game. Elastic Games, the developer for the last year in TN. Yeah, I saw the free-to-play version. I think that's the one I was looking at here. Yeah, this is the free-to-play one. You can just download this one here. But yeah, I might check it out. It doesn't look bad. Like, genuinely, it doesn't look bad. But let me see. Let me turn the volume low and play this while I'm talking. Let's turn the volume off. But thank you for the 10, Kim. Appreciate you. Some of them going for another 2. TDS from a boomer, go to bed. Yeah, he put the work in tonight. He definitely did. He's going places if he keeps it up. He's good. Some of them going perfect pause. Oh, with Danny Lowlanders. Yeah, I was pretty good. Holy shit, we got a purple or pink fuchsia. Some of them going for a 50 banger. Racism works always or no ways. Yeah, someone tell that to Danny Lowlanders. But for the 50 banger, we got to play it.
Holy fucking shit. Unbelievable.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Subnumgoy, and genuinely appreciate you for the all-star support on tonight's stream. You carried the load tonight, and we genuinely appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Bushin Ryukat for 2. Support Africa. Play Far Cry 2. I don't think I've ever played that Far Cry. I've played 3 and 4. I don't think I played 1 or 2. They're good games though, and I know it's Ubisoft, but I enjoy Far Cry. Adair Soto for 2. Ain't she from Black Girl Gamer Studio? No, Daniel Lowlanders, as far as I know, didn't work for Black Girl Gamers. But yeah, so that was the stream I had for you guys tonight. I know it ran a little bit longer than I was expecting, where I was expecting a 2-hour stream. We're at almost 2.5 hours, but it was a banger of a stream. Like this was one for the books, guys. There was even more stuff I wanted to go over. Specifically, I was trying to get time to talk about Savvy, and with TDS, I wanted to go through this because she wrote a book and she covered a whole bunch of stuff. She posted this on Twitter. Like, it's fascinating, just the background, that everything, the web that's been weaved over the years with these people. So maybe we'll cover this another night. I don't know. I never know what my schedule is. I always have time to stream at night. It's not a matter of if I have time, it's a matter of if I have the energy, because as much as I love streaming, it does take a lot out of you. Like my voice is already starting to go because it's so late at night. But I love these streams. It's been so much fun. And you guys have been amazing. I genuinely appreciate the support from so many people tonight. Like I already said, Sumdum Goy, the huge MVP tonight. But I mean, McKinney Draws, Billy on the Mars, Adair Soto, King of the Monsters, Bush and Rio Cat, so many people. I'm not Caps Lock 3, Leo Fisher, Retro Meister, so many people to thank for tonight. You guys were amazing. And yeah, go to sleep already. Exactly. That's where I'm headed. Oh, actually, before I go to sleep, let's see. Is anyone streaming right now that we can? Is anyone streaming that we can? Why can't I think of the word? No one's even on right now. Raid, thank you, Hiroshima. Yeah, that's how you know I'm tired. I'm like, I can't even think of the word. It's so late that literally I don't even have any people that are live right now. So no raid tonight. I love Scotch on the way out. The $2. Thank you so much, man. Good night. Great stream. Billy the Mars on the way out for the 5. Thank you so much. Got to support you guys for all your hard work. Genuinely appreciate it. Regardless of the support, I think we'd be doing this anyways, to be honest. I mean, I was doing this to 7 subscribers 8 years ago, and I was loving it. So it's not a matter of like having a huge amount of people. It's the passion behind it that really pushes me. But you guys make it all worthwhile. It feels like I'm finally like getting somewhere with it instead of just talking to a wall. So without you, I'd just be talking to a wall. And I do need to shower. Benja, thank you for the $2 on the way out. Appreciate you guys so much. Oh, TM Tog Dollar. I didn't even see you tonight. How you doing? Good to see you, and thank you for saying hi. Wolfcut, everyone's donating on the way out. The stream's over. You don't need to send money, guys. Thank you, Wolfcut, for the 5. Appreciate you guys. Sonia, thank you for being an awesome mod as always. Sumdum Goy, you're amazing for your support. I would not support if I even for a second thought it was for the money. I appreciate that. Holy shit, dude, are we serious here? Come on, I'm trying to go to sleep.
Holy fucking shit. Unbelievable.
Winter Fox 2 for the 70 Canadian. Thank you so much. Like, genuinely, thank you. Guys, I'm trying to go to sleep. Billy the Mars for the 5. We throw support because of your passion for this. I appreciate it. Genuinely appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Like, It means the world. It really does. I love Scotchman too. Cut the stream. Cut it. Cut it. God, I'm trying. Go to sleep. I'm like losing my voice right now. They're so number 2. All right. I'm done. No more. No more. Good night. Thank you guys so much. You're the best. And as always, you stay smashing.